This video is going to be a first impressions review of the Beauty Blender, which I mentioned on my previous haul video, and you guys said that you'd like to see a review of it. So I'll be showing you a foundation routine just using the Beauty Blender with my foundation and seeing how I get on with it. I obviously haven't tried it yet, so this will be completely first impressions. So I bought this off the Birchbox website, and they have a little shop where you can buy products, and one of the products that were available was the Beauty Blender. And I had some points to spend, so I bought the Beauty Blender to try. If you're not familiar with Beauty Blender, it is a makeup sponge that you use to apply cream products and liquid products on your face, typically foundation or concealer. And some people really rave about this product, saying that it's amazing, and other people don't get on with it as much. So I had to give it a go and see for myself if I liked it or not. So when you first open up the package, it looks much smaller, as you'll be able to see on the clip that I'm inserting right now, and that is because it is dry. So then what you do is you wet it and you run it under water, and you squeeze the water out as you're wetting it, and it starts to expand and absorb the water, and so it gets to this size that you're seeing right now, which is much bigger. So then you just wring it out the excess water, and your Beauty Blender is ready to be used. So I have here the Real Techniques counterpart of it, which is very similar to the Beauty Blender, but it has different edges. As you can see, the Real Techniques one, it has sort of like a sharp slant edge here, and the Beauty Blender doesn't have that, but it has the same sort of pointy, excuse the dirt there, the same pointy end. I find that the Beauty Blender is a little bit more pointy than the Real Techniques one, but yeah, they're pretty similar in what they do. When I tried the Real Techniques one, I didn't like it that much. Maybe I was using it wrong, but I didn't like it that much. So let's see how the Beauty Blender goes. So I'm just going to move my hair out of the way a bit, and I'm going to start by priming my face with the MAC Prep and Prime primer, and I've used this for quite a long time on and off. I don't always prime my skin, but today I feel like priming my skin. Just smooth that all over my face. So now it's time to apply the foundation, and I'm going to be using my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the shade 5.5, and this is just my favourite foundation. The reason why I chose the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation is because it's tried and tested. I've used it so many times, and I know what it looks like when I blend it with a brush, with my fingers, and so I'll be able to tell you whether or not the Beauty Blender has done anything different. So I'm just going to put a pump of this on my finger, and then just dab it on certain areas of my face. I'm going to start with one pump and see how I get on with it. So let's get started. It feels quite nice and soft on the skin. I've got a mirror down here, so if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my mirror. And it blends quite quickly as well. Although I don't know if it's wasting a lot of product, because normally with this amount of product I would have already enough coverage with my Luminous Silk Foundation, and I can't see this giving me enough coverage yet. So as far as I can see, it feels like it has blended really nicely into my skin, and the foundation looks as though it has disappeared. I have like a zoom mirror here, and I really cannot see any trace of the foundation on my skin. So that's a very big bonus. Sometimes Luminous Silk can look a little bit heavy because it's sort of like a medium to high coverage foundation, and it can look a bit heavy on the skin. I can see myself using the Beauty Blender with Luminous Silk for days when I want to have a more natural looking makeup, and yeah, I really like the way it looks with one layer. It is definitely not as full coverage as it would have looked if I had blended it with my Real Techniques buffing brush, but that's not a bad thing necessarily. It's just a different look, and yeah, I used a lot less product, I think. So that's with one layer, and now I'm going to do another layer of products just to see how it builds up onto the skin. So just another pump. This is quite a lot of product. So normally with my buffing brush, this would give me a very, very, very full coverage. Well, not 100%, but it would be as full coverage as I would like to go. So let's see how this goes. So I'm very pleased with how this looks. I've got one light layer and one heavy layer of foundation on, and the foundation still looks pretty natural on my skin. I'm pleased to say that this works much better for dry patches than the Real Techniques buffing brush, because I don't see the foundation clinging to my problem areas, which would be around my nose on both sides and in between my eyebrows. It actually looks very smooth, very flawless, and I don't think Luminous Silk has ever looked this perfect around these particular areas on my face as it does now. So the next step now is to apply some concealer with the Beauty Blender, and I'm going to be using the MAC Pro Longwear concealer, which is my favorite concealer, in the shade NW20. And this is 2 shades lighter than my current, well, this is about 1 shade lighter than my current skin tone and about 2 shades lighter than my summer skin tone. So it will look a bit too light, but overall I hope it will blend okay. So I'm going to pump out a little bit of product. This here is enough for my entire face probably. It's quite a lot of product. Let's see how this blends. So the Beauty Blender has done an amazing job with this concealer. I'm so impressed. I didn't think I was going to like it for concealer at all, but it's given me coverage, it's given me a nice natural finish. It hasn't stuck to my fine lines as much. I think every concealer will stick a little bit to fine lines, but it looks pretty flawless and pretty natural, and yeah, as far as I can see with my mirror, it looks very perfected. It's almost like I have photoshopped this area underneath my eyes, and it has completely erased my dark circles without looking cakey or anything. Normally I use my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush to do this, and I have then to use my fingers to make sure that everything is blended well. But I find that the Beauty Blender has done an amazing job on its own. Usually I have to go over again with the concealer on the inner corner of my eyes to give me a little bit more coverage, but I don't feel as though I need any more coverage, so I'm very impressed. Let's go to the other eye. I literally did not expect to like this product as much as I'm liking, and oh my god, it has just revolutionized my makeup routine, and I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun applying foundation and concealer with this. So now I'm going to apply a little bit of what's left of the concealer around my nose and on my blemish underneath my nose there, and try and blend it, see how I get on with it. very impressed again. It covered my redness and my blemish really well, and you guys must be thinking that I'm sponsored by Beauty Blender to talk about it, but I promise I'm not. I was very skeptical about it, and if you watched my haul video you'll see that I said that I probably wouldn't have bought it if I hadn't got with the points from Birchbox. So far so good. I know this is only first impressions and I've only used it now, so I'll see how I get on with it for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and if I'm still impressed I'll include it in my March favourites and I'll give you a little bit more of a review about it on that video. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, give this video a thumbs up so that I know that you're enjoying these types of videos. Very impressed with the Beauty Blender and definitely recommend giving it a try. It gives me a very airbrushed look to my skin. So now I'm going to go and finish off this makeup, maybe get a cup of tea and relax, and I hope you all have a very relaxing Sunday. I'll see you all on Wednesday. Bye!